Switch of South Africa in proud association with Change Cars. Change Cars is a trusted online website because they work with trusted dealers and the best insure in South Africa, Discovery Insure. Welcome back to Switch of South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and today you guys join me in my latest test car. This is the BMW 320d and it's a very good looking vehicle. So I'm going to tell you every single thing you need to know about this vehicle, from the exterior look of the vehicle, the interior look of the vehicle, the drive, and cost of ownership of the car. So exterior look of the vehicle, as much as this is in front, it has all the chrome detailing. I thought personally I wouldn't like it, but seeing it in person, having lived with it for a couple of days, I actually like this over it being blacked out. It gives off luxury. It looks quite beautiful, especially with this color. I like the look of this vehicle in front. In front, BMW made significant changes, so you get a different type of bumper design at the lower end, different type of grille, but the main change is on the terms of the lights. The lights look beautiful. I like the look of this car in front. So this car, next to the facelift side by side, pre-facelift owners would look at this and get heart palpitations because of how much this car looks so good in front. I like the overall design in front. At the back, there's minimal difference, just the bumper where the plastic finish, and I personally not a fan of that. Vaughn behind the cameras also not a fan of that. So I feel like BMW could have tried a bit more in terms of making it the facelift vehicle by changing the lights, although I feel like they did change the lights, but they put a bit more effort because it takes a lot of people, and I myself also didn't know the difference between this one and the pre-facelift until I saw the bumper design at the back. But without the bumper, I cover the bumper, you won't know it's the facelift until you look in front, or in terms of the interior when you get that nice flat screen TV inside. And speaking about the flat screen TV inside, time to speak about the interior. And you know what? For that, we need to jump inside so you can see the TV screen I'm talking about. So getting inside the vehicle, you get this nice, beautiful touch screen interface. So let me connect my phone so you guys can see how big the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is. There we go. So you get this nice big interface, you get your digital instrument cluster over there, and then there is so much you can do in this vehicle. And like I said in my X1 review, as an owner, you need to find time, give yourself 30 minutes of the day, get in this vehicle, see what it has. And as you can see, the screen there is so much things you can do with this vehicle, and unfortunately I cannot cover that in this review, but I'm going to show you the overall design of the vehicle in terms of how build quality is. The steering wheel feels good, as much as it is thicker than the C-Class. I personally liked this one, but I like the C-Class more because it just feels much better, and it has a different type of finish here and here in the C-Class. It's like it has holes, for lack of a better term, but that's with regards to the interior. But build quality, the BMW feels much better. The C-Class doesn't feel as good as the BMW, so I like that about the BMW. BMW is supreme in that regard. One thing I like that I missed in the X1 is this knob that controls the whole infotainment system. I do not have to go fiddle there, although I can fiddle there like that. I'd rather prefer using the swivel knob. But interior is that big TV screen. What I don't like, climate control system is within the infotainment system, and I feel like they could have kept it here, although you do get in terms of slightly. So you get like max front or max rear. That's in terms of if it's raining and you need to demist, that's all you get. And then you have your normal volume button, your track selection next, and you get your hazard thing over there. So that's it. I wish the climate control system was fitted here as well, because I do not like it being there. But in regards to that, it's all I can complain about. In the interior, the seats feel good, much better than the ones found in the C-Class. C-Class, I struggled with the correct sitting position, but in this vehicle I did not struggle at all. But overall, interior wise, for me, I prefer this vehicle. Interior wise. Exterior, I prefer the C-Class. I've told you about the interior. Let's speak about cost of ownership and overall my driving impressions, then cost of ownership, and then I'll tell you between the 320d and the C220, which one is a better offering and which one I personally would go for. So you guys join me inside the BMW 320d for my driving impressions of the vehicle, and I need to speak about my favorite thing about this car, and is the fuel efficiency. So you should be seeing an overplay video now. Got this vehicle at around 900 kilometers to empty. Took it up to 1,000, and that's something very impressive. I've been averaging around 4, the same thing I was averaging in the X1. I was averaging around 4.0 liters or 4.2 in this vehicle. The highest I went
even putting foot to metal with this vehicle, the highest you'll ever see is around a 6.2, 6.7 at max in this vehicle. But so in this vehicle, it's a 2-liter turbo diesel engine producing 140 kilowatts and 400 newton meters of torque. So its direct competitor is the Mercedes-Benz C220d that I had on test last year. Link in description box below. So that vehicle produces 7 more kilowatts and 40 more newton meters of torque. Although it might not sound as much, I don't know how Mercedes got it, but in this vehicle you can feel the difference in the Mercedes, that the Mercedes is putting out a bit more power. So the push, you do feel that the newton meters of torque that Mercedes have over the BMW, you can get it. In terms of fuel with the Mercedes, around about the same thing with this vehicle. It has a mild hybrid assistance as well, so it has that whole fancy things of switching off the gearbox when the engine when you're coasting. So, but at the end of the day, it goes down to preference. So this vehicle, its selling point over the Mercedes-Benz, for me, it has to be the build quality inside and the driving abilities of it in terms of the handling. It feels, for me personally, it feels much better than the C-Class, and Mercedes-Benz is known for the luxuriousness of the vehicle, but in that specific C-Class or the AMG line, is a bit too bouncy, is a bit too, not firm per se, but you feel every road imperfection, whereas in this one, as much as you do feel the road imperfection, it handles it much better. That one is much lower as well compared to this. Obviously, like speed humps right now, I'm going in this vehicle, I have not scraped any speed hump, whereas in the C-Class I've scraped countless of times. But it all goes down to the way Mercedes-Benz decided to take the approach of the vehicle in terms of its looks, aesthetics. They've went through that whole young S-Class vibe, but keeping it low to the ground in that instance. But driving dynamics, this is where BMW claims that in terms of sheer driving pleasure, hence they call it sheer driving pleasure. It's because it's so nice to drive. As much as this vehicle is not a performance variant in its range, it gives off so much in terms of the handling, cornering, curves. It gives you so much confidence as a driver. And if you keep the traction on and put it in sport and go into corners or all of that, the traction assists you so much so that you don't end up losing it. It cuts in, but it doesn't cut into a point where you feel like the power cuts. Whereas in the C-Class, the traction cuts, but at the same time it cuts the power of the car. It cuts the power so that you can regain control, and it gives you the power again. In this vehicle, it does not do that. It manages the traction for you, but obviously you as a driver, you'll be doing what you'll be doing. It handles that for you, but you don't feel the surge of power cuts. But in the C-Class, that happened quite frequently. So it's something I did not like. But at the end of the day, if you want to do stuff like that, you just put the traction off. But I don't recommend doing such unless if you know what you're doing. But now it's time to speak about my recommendation, and this is something where it's very tricky. But for me, I'll tell you which one is my personal favorite between the two vehicles, and then we'll sum up the review, cost of ownership and all of that, and then yeah, time to move on to the next segment. So now we're at the final part of my review. It's where I speak about cost of ownership, and then I wrap it up with the question you guys are asking yourself: C220d or 320d? Cost of ownership of this vehicle, if you finance it at an interest rate of 12.25% with no deposit over a period of 5 years, at the launch price of this vehicle at 930,000 Rand before options, you're looking at 21,500 Rand. Factor fuel into that, you should be paying around 1,415 for fuel of this vehicle. So you're essentially looking at the vehicle, you're looking at just under 23,000 Rand, but at most 23,000 Rand, including monthly repayments and fuel for the month, because I do not think you'll need to pour another full tank when you get 1,000 kilometer range in this vehicle. Obviously with insurance, it depends on the type of person you are. I myself, I know for a fact if I insured this car, I will not get anything under 1,000 Rand. So you can easily go to 25,000 Rand. But check out Discovery Insure for that. They're in insurance for a reason. Tell them I send you, and you get an insurance quote, and then that's it. So with regards to that important question, C220d or the BMW 320d, personally, it'll all go down to preference, which one you'd go for. But as an overall vehicle, right, being biased and which one you like more aside, pound for pound, the overall better vehicle, for me, having tested both vehicles, it has to be this vehicle. It offers more than the Mercedes-Benz in terms of comfort, which that's very controversial. Comfort, looks, subjective. Interior feel of the vehicle, this is superior. Even something I struggled with in the C-Class, the driving comfortability in terms of the seat position, this is superior. Handling in terms of driving, this is superior. But the C-Class is still an amazing vehicle. And as much as I've been saying so much about this vehicle, I would still take the C220 because the car looks so beautiful. Is where I lie towards. Like, I lean towards the C220d, but pound for pound, this is a better vehicle. Hence why you see this vehicle, so many of these vehicles. I get it, but overall for me personally, C220. But I wouldn't be mad if I got this vehicle and I didn't buy the C220. So I don't mind it. It's a good vehicle, good offering. If you as a buyer opt for this one, it's good. If you opt for the C220, it's good. If you come to me and say, Nikki, which one should I buy? I will say, my brother, close your eyes, point in the direction, wherever you end up, take that vehicle, because both vehicles are good offering vehicles. And I have to end the review there. Comment down below which one you would go for, since you know what I would go for, and we'll take it on in the next review. What's my next review? Interesting. Next video is not on this channel. It's on Ignition channel 189. All things motoring. Catch me at Festival of Motoring this coming weekend. And yeah, if you wanna see me, come to Festival of Motoring. I'll be asking questions, doing all the fun things behind the camera, and I'll see you there. But yeah, I'm signing out.